Hello guys, welcome to part 18 of What If Minato Had Adopted Obito. First of all, and I said that this story doesn't belong to me, so if you want to read the full story for yourself, you can go down in the description to find the link to the original post and read the full story for yourself. That being said, let's get into the video. What if Minato had adopted Obito? Part 18. Minato was moving at a speed he had never gone in his life. He had Naruto back home with flash shield that he kept there. Kushina was with whoever the hell that woman was, doing who knows what. She must be after the QV. It didn't take a genius to figure that out. The question was, how did she know where Kushina was at? What did she want with the QV? And where was she taking Kushina now? Obito, Rin, and Tsunade weren't far behind him. Obito called up to him, Sensei, how do you know where you are going? Minato didn't bother to look back. The QB has very distinctive chakra. I have been around Kushina long enough that I can actually sense it. I just follow the trail she left behind. Rin couldn't help but be reminded of a story she had heard before. This is just like when you saved her from the Cloud Ninja before. Minato just kept moving forward. Yeah, I guess I'm not really convinced about what happened before Rin. I am just worried about what's gonna happen this time. Tsunade couldn't help but feel sorry for him. It will be okay. I'm sure you will be just fine. Minato frowned. Unless I would say that you're right. Usually I would say you're right, but something just doesn't seem right this time. I have got a bad feeling about this. Kushina had found herself tied to a massive boulder, her shirt torn so that it showed her abdomen. She looked around. The woman whose face was wrapped in bandages was standing wrapped in bandages, was standing nearly looking out at the village before her. Kyubi growled at the woman. What do you think releasing the QB will accomplish? Even if I die, they will just steal inside someone else and the leaf strongest it's been years it and the leaves the strongest it is been in years is the strongest and the leaves the strongest it's been in years. If you are from another village, this isn't going to be a good for you, a good do you any good. The woman sighed. I'm not trying to hurt the leaf. I'm simply trying to acquire the QB. Even if I fail to accomplish this, at least I will be taking out several powerful ninja as a consolation prize. Kushina raised an eyebrow. So, where are you from? The cloud? Is that why you are trying to get the QB? She turned to Kushina. Please, I am affiliated with no village. I seek the QB for my own reasons. With its accession, I will assess. Assistant, I will bring peace to this cursed world. You should be willing to help me. You saw the pain of the war firsthand. You watched the whirlpool be destroyed in one cruel blow. Kushina scrawled, what I saw was horrible, but killing more people won't do any good. We need to try and find peace by making friends with our enemies and by trying we try and find some kind of common ground. The woman put her hand on Kushina's stomach. Foolish words and idealistic heart. Goodbye, Kushina. May you find peace in the afterlife. Kushina started to scream as after her seal weakened. Things only seemed to be getting worse. Minato was nearly Kushina's location. He heard scream all the way through the forest. Though the other didn't know it was possible, Minato started to go even faster. He would He found a river and saw Kushina tied to a nearby boulder. She was screaming, and red chakra was flowing out of her like tidal waves. Tidal wave. The woman with the bandages on her face was standing next to her, hand pressed to Kushina's stomach. Minato threw one of his kunai at her. Get away from her, you witch! Not that it wasn't any affected alien reference. The omen was suddenly protected by what looked like a giant green, light blue rib cage. The kunai just bounced off it, much to everyone's surprise. Rin turned to Obito. Can you do that? Obito wasn't sure. Maybe. The omen chuckled darkly. He has no idea the full capacity of the Mongekyo Sharingan if you haven't even discovered the Susanoo yet. Your age is behind me. The Minato was tired of that laugh of her. I don't care what kind of power you have. I'm gonna kick the shit out of you for hurting my wife. The omen lowered her head from Kushina's stomach. The woman lowered her hand from Kushina's stomach. Now, the pain's almost over with. Now it's time to play with the fox. Kushina let out one or more piercing scream, and the seal broke. The QB released itself in all of its glory. Kushina collapsed and Minato ran over to her. You guys hold off the QB. I will be back in just a second. I'm taking Kushina back to be with Naruto. They all nodded and Minato flashed away. This was going to be one hell of a fight. Page break. Kushina woke up laying next to Naruto. Minato was putting his Hokage coat on. Sweetie, what happened? Is everyone alright? Minato shook his head. Probably not. The cube is making his way to the leaf as we speak. I will be right back, sweetie. If I have got to take care of this. Kushina was crying. Minato-kun, what are you gonna do? No one can kill the Kyuubi. Minato sighed. I will have to restrain it and seal it inside of someone. I think it will have to be Naruto. Kushina was shocked, but Minato-kun, you can't. There's gotta be another way. Minato got ready to flash back. No, there isn't. You know it as to be a new. It has to be a newborn you, and you know what I have to do to seal it. Seal it away. Kushina couldn't believe this. You mean you are going to use the Reaper death seal? Minato gave her sad nod and flashed away, leaving Kushina only Naruto to cuddle in comfort. The QV was giving the leaf shinobi all they could handle. He had gotten close to the village but hadn't actually entered it yet. That not to say he wasn't doing damage to it. He was doing plenty of that. It definitely wasn't good, but it would have been catastrophically worse if Tsunade hadn't been there. She had used her super strength to keep the QV out of the leaf, something that was a major lifesaver. Literally, the QV not actually being able to get into the village had cut down the damage and living caused by at least half. A giant rumble was heard, and Minato appeared riding Gamabonta, the boss of the Toad contract. Minato looked down at him. Sorry to call you like this, but my son's life on the line. I need you to help these guys force back the QB while you go find whoever the woman that caused this. Gamabunta growled. Damn it, Gaki, you are gonna owe me for this one. Minato gave a soft laugh. After I afraid not, old friend. This is the last time you and I will be fighting together. I'm gonna have to seal the big fox here after all. Gamabunta sadly understood just how seriously this was. I'm sorry to hear that. You are the only one so far I have actually liked. It's been an honor, Minato. Minato was surprised. Gamabunta had never called him by his name before. Same to you, Gamabunta. My only regret is not to be able to see Naruto grow up. Gamabunta looked up to him. Really, you name your son after a ramen topping? Minato decided to let it be. Yeah, let's go with that. Wish me luck. Gamabunta looked over at the fox and unsheathed his sword. All right, you overgrown plushie, let's do this. I It didn't take long for Minato to find the woman. She had been watching all of it unfold on a cliff close to the village when Minato flashed behind her side. It's uncomfortable, you know. You are the only one I'm not sure I can defeat. It is unfortunate, you know. You are the only one I'm not sure I can defeat. Minato grounded his teeth. I may not live through this live through tonight, but I'm gonna make sure you don't walk scot free either. My son, Sensei's daughter, Obito's son. I'm gonna do whatever I can do to make this a safe place for them. The omen paused. Obito's son? Minato didn't answer the question. He just charged at her with the Rasengan in his hand. The omen pulled two needles out of her bun in her hair and activated her Susano rib. The Rasengan hit it and left with cracks all over. The woman jumped back and made one of her needles to make a ripe around her Susano, wipe out of her Susano with it as the base. Then did the same with the other. The swan one of the swing of one of the swipe at him, and Minato dodged it. Minato was behind her before she knew it, another Rasengan in his palm, which he shoved it in her back. Naturally, she had no time to react. She was sent flying. After she was done with she sent Minato a thrilling glare. Oh, it's on now. The QB wasn't doing well. They were forcing him back big time between Tsunade and the third, not to mention the army behind them. The QB just couldn't compare. They wouldn't have help but wonder how Minato was doing with his fight. What they didn't know, they were forcing the Kyuubi right to his location. Obito saw him fight the woman out of one of his eyes. He was doing fairly well. He could hear her yell in the distance. If this is the way you want it, fine. You will be force me to release my hand on the QV so I can escape. She released from her control. She released the QV from her control, causing it to roar horribly. The omen turned and ran off, leaving Minato to help them handle the fox. He turned to the Leaf Ninja. I will be back. I will be right back. I have just got to grab something. He flashed away slightly, hoping his son could forgive him for this one day. Forgive him for this one day. Minato found Kushina holding on Naruto for dear life, whispering in his ear, "It's okay, Naruto. It will all be okay." Minato looked at the two of them, trying to take as much of sight in as possible. This would be the only time he could see this after all. Kushina-chan, it's time. Kushina stood up, holding tightly to Naruto. I'm sorry, Naruto. I never wanted this for you. Minato grabbed his son. I think you should stay here. Kushina wasn't having it. No, I need to be there for my Naruto when you. Minato couldn't stand to hear it. Fine, you just stay out of the line of fire. He grabbed a hold of his wife and used his yellow flash. The time had finally came. Minato got back to find the QB pinned down by Gamabonta, Sarutobi, Tsunade, and several other ninja. Though he was struggling, it was clearly he wasn't going anywhere. Minato still hold on to Naruto, walked over to the QB. He sat Naruto on the ground and raised his hand to hands to start making the necessary seal. The QB gave one last thresh, sending his claw through Minato just inches from Naruto's face. The QB gave one last thrash, sending his claw through Minato just inches from Naruto's face. Minato couldn't believe his body alone was able to stop it. He soon found that it wasn't. Kushina had jumped in front of Naruto, just barely keeping the claw from hitting him. Kushina looked at Minato and gave him a sad smile. Sorry, guess I just couldn't let you make this sacrifice by yourself. Minato raised his hands and made the seals. Before long, he could feel the seal working inside of him. I'm sealing the yin half of the chakra inside myself. It's safer for Naruto that way. Now, Kushina gave one last look at her son. It will be okay, sweetie. You will have our friends here for you. You will have our family to take care of you. Just don't take too much after Joraya. Minato laughed for that last time in his life. As the ceiling finished, the QB vanished into the young Naruto. The two of them collapsed on the ground. The village was safe, but it cost them their most powerful ninja. All of the ninjas looked at the third for guardians. No one was sure what to do at this point. That's all for chapter 18, in part 18 and chapter 18. If you want to be notified for chapter 19 and part 19 of this What If story, the best way is by subscribing. That being said, I have to see you in the next one. Bye bye.